So, you're trying to buy a gift for a guy that's trying to level himself up in some aspect of his life, whether that's through fashion or working out or just general hygiene. I've got a list of stuff here that might give you some good inspiration for buying him a meaningful gift. I'll start from cheapest, go to most expensive. That way, hopefully, people of all budgets are covered. All right, so the first one is going to be a car scent. Okay, hear me out. I know you can go to Bath and Body Works and buy that for pretty cheap, like the actual holder for the scent, just the maybe $5 or $10. After that, the actual scents are just a couple bucks, so it's pretty cheap there. But the one specifically that I love is from Carvile. The one I use is actually inspired by Dior Sauvage, so my car literally smells like cologne. So subjectively, I think it smells better than the options at Bath and Body Works and other places. But in addition to smelling better, it's slightly stronger, but still not overwhelming. But most importantly, it lasts the longest. I feel like the ones from Bath and Body Works don't really last that long, and I'm kind of tired of having to go back to the store and resupply the thing with scent. I find that to be a bit annoying, but that's just me. So there's that one. There's also a few others on here, like one inspired by Creed Aventus, one inspired by Tom Ford Oud Wood. There are a lot of options, so I would definitely recommend looking into that, making his car smell really good. Next, you'd be surprised about the amount of guys who don't use skincare, but if I were you, I'd definitely put him on skincare if he isn't already. In fact, I'm gonna look this up right now. What percentage of guys use skincare? So this AI, could be wrong, but it says about half, 52%. So regardless of that, whether that's correct or not, there's a solid chance the guy you're thinking about does not use skincare. So even if that's something just super basic and bare bones, like a cleanser and a night and morning moisturizer, that can do wonders for them over the long term. You can get more in depth with it though. You could add exfoliator, do acne care if that's something to deal with, like myself. You can add a toner. I mean, there's a lot of different routes you can go. Personally, I use T. Hanley for my morning moisturizer, and I use CeraVe for my cleanser and my night moisturizer. I don't use CeraVe's morning moisturizer just because for me specifically, I've tried it. It's too much like sunscreen. I apply it and it doesn't really rub in very well. And yeah, so it didn't work well for me, but it could very well work well for you, and I hope it does because it's pretty cheap. I would definitely at least just looking at that. And also, I almost forgot to mention, I could throw this in with this category, but some sort of body wash. Maybe if you want to go with something that's a little bit more expensive and splurge a bit more, you go with this body wash from Salt and Stone. There are a lot of different kinds, a lot of different scents you can buy, but I've actually used it and it smells like really good, obviously. So why is it that expensive? I couldn't really tell you, but can I justify spending that much on it versus other cheaper options? Probably not, but it's still a very good product. But obviously plenty of other cheaper options out there. So do with that what you will. Next, it's gonna be a weight belt. This specifically works with weighted dips and weighted pull-ups / chin-ups. And so if the guy you're buying a gift for doesn't already do those exercises, you'd be putting him on game right here. I mean, I started out grinding in the gym a few years ago on weighted dips and weight chins, and it added a lot of mass to my frame, even though I had already been training for a couple years at that point, so newbie gains were behind me. I like to say, weighted pull-ups are like the squat of the upper body. You could also say that about dips in a way. It adds a lot of mass and it's a nice calisthenic movement. And low-key, I think weighted dips are more effective than just the heavy bench press at adding mass. You can say I'm wrong, okay? I don't know, but personally, I think I found that to be true for myself. So if he's big into working out, or if he's trying to get into working out, I would definitely look into that for him. Speaking of working out, the next item, some sort of workout short. I like 5-inch shorts. I used to buy them from Young LA, the kind that had compression because I have bigger legs, and that keeps me from chafing. And it's a really flexible pair of shorts to wear that I can work out in. But unfortunately, Young LA decided to discontinue all their best pairs of shorts, which is super annoying. So now I look to Gymshark. I think the 5-inch Arrival pair, that one's probably a good idea to buy. Personally, I've actually never bought this pair of shorts because I already have enough with Young LA, like I said. But I mean, it looks pretty darn similar to what I'm already been using, so you can do that. Obviously, there are like plethora of other options, but I would definitely recommend to keep it like 5 inches, if not maybe 7, but I don't know. I feel like that's too long. You want to show a little bit of the quad if he's working out. Just don't be the guy who wears shorts past his knee. Personally, I'm not a fan of that look. I mean, if you are, good for you. The guy is that you're buying it for, cool. But for most people, it's probably not going to be the move. Next, pivoting back to a bit more fashion, it's going to be a sweater polo. So pretty much exactly like what I have on right now. It's just a great way to introduce someone to looking better and elevating their outfits. Not even necessarily formal, right? A sweater polo is a super versatile piece that can go with almost any outfit. You know, you can dress it up really formal or make it a bit more casual just by wearing it with shorts. I mean, you could give it to a guy if he's really into fashion or if he knows nothing about it. Either way, like a sweater polo, you really can't go wrong with it. It kind of elevates the outfit, gives it a more luxurious look, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know, it just seems like one of those pieces where you put it on, you kind of automatically look like you know what you're talking about when it comes to dressing and fashion. So, can't go wrong there. Next, I'm gonna suggest a pair of glasses. I mean, this could be anywhere from, I don't know, $20 or $30. I bought this pair, blue light pair, for $45. But obviously if it's prescription, it's gonna be probably several hundreds. I mean, it depends on where you buy it from, of course, but you can get them for pretty cheap. Obviously there's function there with it being blue light blocking. It helps you keep that harmful light away from your eyes, especially at night before bed, and that actually is very helpful, I found. But it also just makes them look a lot better. It can really elevate an outfit and you don't really have to try very hard. I mean, you literally just throw on a pair of glasses and you look better with most people. So you want to definitely make sure to buy a pair that fits his face. I mean, nowadays though, it's not really hard to get an idea of what that would look like. There's virtual try-ons online. You can kind of just upload a picture of the person and it'll give you a rough idea. So it's not perfect. If you're trying to go for the element of surprise, it's kind of sort of the only option. So I would definitely recommend going with that. Next, talking more workout stuff, I would recommend actually buying a pair of trainers. The pair I have is from Vankis. It's $100, and if you're not aware of what this is, it's just it's a flat sole shoe with a wide toe box, something that's really beneficial on a leg day, but really any day of the week, any muscle group that you're hitting would benefit from just a flat, stable surface. Like, I'm a personal trainer. I have clients that I have at squat sometimes or leg press, and if I see them wearing tennis shoes, honestly, I just make them take it off. Especially if we're going heavy. Just the tennis shoe, it's made for running. I mean, its sole is kind of squishy. The distribution of weight is slightly different. With a flat shoe and a wide toe box, that's gonna give you even force distribution, and it's more of a hard surface, right? It feels more raw on the floor, not as much cushion. That can help a lot with leg movements. So it honestly is a game changer with how it feels when you're pressing. I just find it gives more stability, and honestly, I feel, even though it might not be tangible, I feel stronger in them when I wear them and do pressing movements. So if they're into working out, I would definitely recommend buying a pair of those. Next, we're gonna talk some jewelry. Personally, I have this bracelet here, rose gold, from GLD Shop. Same with this chain right here. It's not that expensive. I mean, they run sales a lot of the time. You can grab some for as cheap as like $50, but obviously you can get much more expensive than that. So this one's kind of more basic. You don't really have to do much deciding like you would with a pair of glasses, like what would fit him best. I mean, you really got to know his color. You know, does he like silver, maybe gold, maybe rose gold? Yeah, this one it's not very hard to buy. It kind of just one size fits all in a way. Obviously there are different sizes, but I would just estimate, just looking off his neck, what might look best on him. You know, it's not actually that hard to estimate. And lastly, I'm gonna say some knitwear. This is kind of the same concept as sweater polos in that it doesn't take a lot of effort to just put it on and you automatically look so much better. If you wear this, you just look really cozy, you know, and it's something that can go with everything. You can put knitwear, for example, like I've been getting a lot of ads from Suit Supply lately about their knitwear. If I had more money, I would be their #1 customer. I would buy everything. I mean, especially with their knitwear stuff. It looks luxurious. It looks like, you know what you're talking about with fashion. It looks like it's just really comfy, like I said, and it will go with pretty much anything. You can put, for example, just a crew neck sweater, cashmere or merino wool or anything along those lines. You can put it with jeans, you can put it with suit pants, you can put it with chinos. Very versatile piece that goes with a lot of things. And especially during winter time, you know, Christmas gift, perfect time to give it It'll provide a lot of warmth. And I guess I'll throw it on at the end because we're going cheapest, most expensive. You can consider buying a watch. That's going to be probably definitely the most expensive item on the list. It can easily be hundreds of dollars at the cheapest point, but obviously they get very, very expensive, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. Citizen is a good brand to use. That's where I got my first one actually. I got a Black Friday deal, retail like $350. Yeah, it kind of goes along with jewelry in the sense that it's an accessory, and it's just, obviously it's not necessary to an outfit, but it adds a layer that makes you look more sophisticated and more classy in a way, I guess. I mean, it depends on the kind of watch you buy and the different vibes it gives off, but I would definitely recommend buying a versatile watch. Like the silver and black, that's pretty versatile, goes with pretty much everything. If they're not into watches, then definitely that's the move. You're gonna wanna buy a color. That goes with a lot of things. But yeah, that is it. A few things that a guy that is into improving himself in many different aspects of life might appreciate in a gift. Hopefully you can take something off this list directly and use it. If not, maybe use it as inspiration to buy something maybe a little bit similar to what I mentioned, but I feel like if you give a guy one of these gifts, he's very likely to really appreciate this, and they're gonna think you put a lot of thought into it, which is obviously what you want. So if you liked it, I would appreciate if you dropped a like and subscribed, especially for more fashion / gym content in the future, and I'll see y'all in the next one.